Let's take a look inside the 50th anniversary edition of the Rigid Pinup calendar. This is from 1985 and 1986. Some of the ladies featured in the calendar. And just a quick heads up, there is no nudity in this calendar, so it's safe for everyone. Not sure if it's necessarily politically correct in today's age, but let's take a look at it. So here we're looking at January 1985. They tell us some facts here, anniversary highlights. That's what the calendar from 1935 looked like compared to 1985. Here's our calendar girl. Winning photo from 1983-84. There's some more tools. And there's Miss January. That is Nancy Fletcher, Miss Rigid, 1983-84, shown with the gold-plated 24-inch heavy-duty pipe wrench she received with the title. So that's a 24-inch gold-plated pipe wrench. Nancy Fletcher. Let's look at March and April of 85. Some more plumbing tools. Some fun facts from the 40s. And there's Heidi Mitchell, a native of California. She's posing with a rigid ratchet drop head threader. Heidi Mitchell. Now we're jumping to May and June of 1985. Looking back, some anniversary highlights. This is from 1949. Little revealing for 1949. And that's current day for 1985. And there's Julie Birkeland, who calls Seattle, Washington her hometown, is shown with a rigid tri-stand. Julie Birkeland. Now we'll jump to July and August of 1985. That's a look at a calendar from the 1950. No girls on that one. The Maverick Elves. Oh, check it out. They elicited over 80,000 letters of protest from customers who wanted the pinup girls back. Some more tools. And that's Carolyn Bartlett, a native of Bournemouth, England. I believe that's how it's spelled. Poses with a rigid model spiral reamer. Carolyn Bartlett. Now let's jump to September and October of 1985. Oh, they got the girls back on the calendar. This is from 1952. Probably the most famous and popular of the girl rendering pinups of the 50s were those produced by noted artist George Petty. That is quite different than that. Little 30-year difference. And this is Linda Gorduck, who hails from Flemington, New Jersey, shown with a rigid ratchet threader. Linda Gordick. Wonder what these ladies are up to now. This is what, 37, 38 years ago. So here's looking at May of 55. That's 55, and that's 1985. And then let's look at Carrie Fodor, a California native. She poses with a rigid portable power drive. Carrie Fodor. Now we're looking at January and February of 1986. Looking at the 1957 calendar, the final girl rendering pinups appeared in 1957. That's modern day. And this is Lisa Auld, another California native. She's shown with a rigid pipe cutter. Lisa Auld. Now we're looking at March and April of 1986. Here's some fun facts from 59 and 61. The Ridge calendar made an evolutionary change from girl drawings to live photography. So that's a picture from 1959. This is March, April of 86. And we're looking at Dana Popper, who hails from Chicago, Illinois, poses with a rigid tube cutter. Dana Popper. Now let's jump to May and June of 86. 63 to 74. That's when the calendar jumped to a 2-year format like the one we have now. Perhaps our most famous model, Raquel Welch, appeared in 1965. Wow. So that was from the 63 to 74 era. It's 1986. And we're looking at Penny Baker, a native of Buffalo, New York. She's shown with a rigid drain cleaner, K60. Penny Baker. There's some other drain machines. And now we're going to July and August of 86. Here's 75 and 76. That's 75, 76. And this is 1986. Only a 10-year difference. And this is Stephanie Drake. She is a native of Southern California. And she's posing with a bench vise. Stephanie Drake. And now we're into September and October of 86. Halloween was on a Friday that year. 77 and 78. Kathy McCullen of California was the first to be named Miss Rigid. A gold-plated pipe wrench, a $500 check, and the opportunity to appear on the next calendar are now part of the Miss Rigid title. So that's 77, 78. This is 1986. And this is Heidi Sorensen from Vancouver, British Columbia. Is shown with a rigid core drilling machine. Heidi Sorensen. And now we're into November and December of 86. Christmas was on a Thursday that year. So this is 1979. Brought us our third Miss Rigid and our first international winner, Miss Jane Warner of London, England. Jane Warner, Miss Rigid of 1979. This is 1986. If you need some hydraulic rams or pumps. 1986. Maureen Hyman, a California native, poses with a hydraulic ram and pump products. Maureen Hyman. And that's it. Rest of it is just looking at different tools. Look at some rigid tools from 1985, 1986. And then we'll flip it to the back. There's a little bit of information about rigid. Some calendar stats. On the cover. And some pipe and drain cleaning equipment. Just imagine if your grandfather or father was a plumber. He probably had this calendar hanging in his shop. I don't know if stuff like that would float nowadays, but there it is. Let me know what you think. The 50th anniversary edition of the Rigid Pinup calendar. This is from 1985, 1986.